There's two kinds of rich people. There's people that see money as a possession, and there's people that see money as a tool. What's up, people? I have another question here from somebody with the username Schnitzel Malone, which I think is hilarious. Anyway, he writes, this is Tim, by the way. He writes, "Hi, Casey. What do you recommend as a first car? How much horsepower should it have? I would love a Fiesta ST as a first car. Do you go or went to car meets? And if yes, do you have some tips to get a conversation starting? I'm pretty quiet because I don't want to say something wrong about others' cars. Do you want to visit Germany someday? Or have you already been in Germany? Have a nice day, Tim. P.S. Here you see some photos of my first car meeting. And yes, you can use my pictures and name. So that. Well, anyway, Tim, I appreciate you writing. So you're in Germany, so that changes things a little bit. Keep in mind the advice I'm going to give you is relating to the United States and the cars we have, typically here and whatnot. But I think you can generally find the parallels and figure it out. First car. The first biggest thing is budget. That's something you're going to know. But keep in mind, it's not just buying the car. It's taxes, registration, upkeep, fuel, insurance, maintenance, etc. Now, I would work on cars mostly myself, but as a younger person, I didn't have the same talents and experience I have now. So you have to know what is your level of expertise or your level with friends, etc., your family that can help, and what you might have to pay for. Because that's going to all come down to your risk management when you look at a car. I.e., how many miles are on it? Who kept it up? Do they have records on it? Are you checking it out? Are you having like a mechanic that you trust do a pre-purchase inspection? Obviously if you get a brand new car with a warranty, you don't have to worry about that, but the cost is a lot greater and you're going to take a hit to depreciation, and I don't like doing that. So those are some tips that you're going to have to think of, and I really can't give you more information than just that right now because I would need more. But in terms of first cars and horsepower, it comes down a little bit to how good of a driver you are. And I feel like that cocky moment of the James Hunt character in the movie Rush about saying how good in the rain you are. Maybe you're a Reaganmeister, I don't know. But when you're young, I get what it's like to be a young man. Okay, you want to go fast, hormones, etc., and maybe sometimes he's not as even-keeled. Okay, so you need enough that you enjoy your car, and forget horsepower. Do you enjoy the car or not? Is it fun to drive or not? Does it get you where you need to go or not? Are you proud of it or not? Okay? It's not about horsepower, because you have a brain and you have a right foot and you have self-control. Okay, so it doesn't, if you have 3,000 horsepower car, that's kind of ridiculous because it's probably going to blow up and it's going to use a lot of fuel, and that's no good. But, my everyday car is that Dodge Viper from the 90s. There's no traction control. I just exercise good judgment. And yeah, I actually do genuinely obey the traffic laws because I don't want to pay for a ticket or look like an idiot. You know what I mean? So the horsepower equation really doesn't matter. But you want to pick a car that's reliable. That's why I've always been, and this is the United States, a fan of naturally aspirated cars. In Europe, you guys have a lot of smaller displacement cars to get past the insurance regulations and like governmental regulations, and then have a turbo on it to make more horsepower so it's fun. That's something you're going to have to weigh with what's available to you. Whether it's front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive, that's up to you. I'm not sure where exactly in Germany you live, but naturally you're going to get snow and ice, and maybe you'd be bombing around the Black Forest on some twisty roads with no guardrails. At which point, all-wheel drive would be great. Front-wheel drive, I'm not a big fan of. I don't think it's a lot of fun because if you get your foot in it, you're either going to spin the inside tire or you're just going to push like out of the corner, and that's not that much fun. Rear-wheel drive cars, usually if your budget range is a first drive, it's not like you're going to make so much horsepower that you're going to be drifting and being silly, but I do like rear-wheel drive cars a lot better because it's a good ride, and I think it teaches you better driving techniques and whatnot. When people say that front-wheel drive is better in the snow, what they're really meaning to say is you can screw up more and not get yourself in trouble. They're not really better in snow. Weight transfer physics, you accelerate, puts the weight on the rear wheels. Okay. Now that being said, the wider tire you have, the worse in the snow or rain it can be. Oftentimes narrow ones are better in the snow. So it comes down to you. As far as first cars for me and cars that I really liked back then and actually still like now, Volkswagens, I've always been a big fan of that. But keep in mind, the first cars I think of are from the 80s and 90s because I'm like old now. So they're going to be different for you. But, the Golfs back then in the 80s were cool, like the A2 chassis. Scirocco's I was a big fan of. Volkswagen Corrados are pretty cool too. I really like Porsche 944s and 924s. They're very affordable. And if you keep them up, they last very well. Porsche, I think after like 1982, if I'm not mistaken, galvanized all their bodies. So it's actually really hard to make a Porsche rust. But I think you all keep up your cars better in Germany than people do generally in the United States. But that's about it, man. Find something you got to do your risk management with your logistics and what you can afford. Learn to work on cars and make good choices. If it's something you're proud of, it's fun. You look reasonably professional in it. So, it's not like you're driving a circus wagon. It's going to be hard to get a job. You know what I mean? Those are all things to keep in mind. So in regard to a tip, when you go to car meets, and if I do, yeah, I do sometimes. Be honest, I got burned out on car shows a long time ago. I'd like to think I got better things to do than just park my car and sit in a lawn chair behind it and hope somebody will talk to me because they think my car's cool and I think it's cool and that's the only thing that matters in my world. No. I'd rather go, when I was single, go on a date, like drive around a river road, go fishing, like enjoy drives, find buddies to go drives for, go enjoy cars for being cars. But what's really cool nowadays, in the United States are cars and coffee. And you go or you don't. It doesn't cost you anything to go. You stay as long as you want. You go meet people. And that's fun, whatever car you have. And you're going to meet like people and all that. But my best advice to you as a young, quiet person going to a car event or any social event is remember, doesn't matter what kind of car you drive, everyone there is a person. Okay? Just like you. And many of them, even people that might have Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches, whatever, Koenigsegg, I don't know. Maybe they started just like you and didn't have anything way back when. So just be respectful, respect the individual, respect their car, and say, hello, my name is. You know what I mean? And introduce yourself and just say, I admire your car, I'm a fan, and then talk about that person. Where are they from? What do they do for hobbies beyond cars? What are they into? What are their passions in life? My tip for you is this. Get to know the person. You already know about their car. They already know about their car. If you just talk about their car and you skits out as a fanboy, you're going to turn them off a little bit. They'll probably be nice to you, but that's just it. And if you get to know these people as individuals and actually, kind of on that neat adult level, you might even find a mentor, okay? Now, truth be told, I'm going to give you another piece of advice you didn't ask for, but it's something I think young people should know when they go to car meets, especially like cars and coffee and exotic car meets where there's, quite frankly, a lot of rich guys. There's two kinds of rich people. There's people that see money as a possession, and there's people that see money as a tool. I tend to like the people that see money as a tool more than I like or resonate with, shall I say, the people that see money as a possession. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But those people are a lot cooler. They know the value of the dollar. I think they respect others in working and making something for themselves more. So let's see if you can tell the difference in the future. Actually, this weekend I'm going to go to Cars and Coffee in Columbus with my Viper. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And I feel like I'm missing one thing, man. I want to look here right now. I'm sorry. I'm a real person. I forget things sometimes. I think that's about it. Getting a conversation starting? Yeah, start with, hello, my name is, where are you from? What's going on? Talk about their life and just say, I admire your car. And then maybe they'll start a conversation with you on it, but just don't fanboy geek out on them with the car. But I appreciate you writing, man. I hope this is a little bit helpful. If you got any more questions, send them my way. Hope everybody else likes this, subscribes, and I'll see you next time.